It's interesting when you start to think about how disconnected from reality the upper middle class are. I used to work in an area, I taught karate in an area that was upper middle class. And the people in this area, this upper middle class area, were very wealthy, obviously, but they were all liberal Democrats, or liberal at least. And I'd go to the upper middle class areas because it's nicer. So when I go to eat, I go to the upper middle class areas, and you see a lot of these things. They have not no home for hate or no room for hate things, which are ridiculous anti-Republican signs, which it's assuming the Republicans are promoting hatred, which they're not. But what's interesting is what people in this area, which is literally 20 minutes up the road from me, what they're completely unaware of is the the maximum inflation. And this is what's interesting. When people don't understand how inflation affects people that are broke. Now, I noticed this because years ago, I'm a vegan. Obviously, I say that enough. But I eat a lot of dried beans. Now, it used to be a pound of beans in early 2000s, I'd say 2003 or 4, was 62 cents, 62 pennies was a pound of dried beans. Now it's anywhere from $1 to $2.25 for a pound of dried beans, which this sounds insane to anybody that does not eat a whole food diet. But what's also interesting is there are so many poor people now. Right now I'm plotting my next move because I have to get out of where I'm going. So the only thing I can afford is a room in a boarding home type area. There's no vacancy in any of these places because two reasons. The authorities have cracked down on the homeless, okay, which that was my original plan, but I scratched that because I figured, why the hell do I want to do that? It's going to be hot out. So they've cracked down on the homeless, so you can't be homeless anywhere anymore, or you get yourself into some trouble, okay? Now, you can't also get a room. It's very difficult to get a room because there's no vacancies anywhere because everybody has to be in these rooms and it's all they can afford. But the problem is, it gets to the point where the middle class and down, not the upper middle class, but the regular middle class and the working poor and the poor, have gotten such a hard life anymore that it makes it impossible to breathe. Now, what's funny is a lot of people have asked me, why do you plan on moving to South America? One guy in particular, which is where I might be going, my friend in Georgia, they will ask, why do you plan on going to South America? Well, the problem with North America, be it the United States in particular, and I would not move to Canada if I was given a whole bunch of money to move to Canada. I would take the money and move to South America, is the working poor of all races, white, Hispanic, black. Well, blacks are very rarely working poor. But what I'm saying is the working poor and the just plain poor are being priced out of existence. And it's funny because you hear people that are, pro-Trump. The stock market's doing wonderful. Lowest black unemployment in, 70 some years. One of my favorites was on Twitter. Donald Trump was talking about how we have the lowest illegal border crossing ever. Yeah, that's probably because there's no goddamn jobs in this country. The illegal immigrants think that they can probably get better jobs in their home countries than by illegally crossing the border and coming here. It has nothing to do with the enforcement of border security. It has to do with the fact that, in reality, and this happened under Obama, and what happened under Obama is a lot of Hispanics that came here illegally were crossing back over the border, back to Mexico, because they're fed up with the fact that there's no damn jobs in this country. So what you have forming in this country is an oligarchy, which is going to literally be what I called in a comment with some dude, I called it a bourgeoisie power grab, which is what you're seeing now. They're trying very hard to consolidate power. And this is because they fear the decentralization of power that is going to be brought on by technology. It's interesting because what they fear is not that they won't be doing well, because under a decentralization of power and decentralization of production through technology, prosperity will expand. What they fear is not being the only prosperous people. And that's what you have. Capitalism is greed. Capitalism is the crushing of other classes to a serfdom level so that you can say, I'm the guy on top. And that's what's going on right now in the capitalist globalist world. It's just sad because I unfortunately am at the bottom of the barrel at the moment.